Hi, Boy Tumelo. Welcome to the session. We are looking today at trigonometry, the two-dimensional trigonometry. And we have a question there. Do you know the formulas for sine, cos, and area rules? And I'd like you to write them down if you do remember them. So yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome, Marilyn. Welcome, Boy Tumelo, Rabone. I saw Trish here as well. I wonder what happened to Trish. Okay, so maybe if you can think about these formulas and write them down. What are the formulas for sine, cos, and area rules? Okay, sine, cos, area rules. You can just show me a thumbs up if you have done this. Those on the live feed as well, welcome to the session, and I hope that you all are well. If you have done sine, cos, and area rule, please show me a thumbs up. Marilyn, Rabone, Trish, Lumka, Lisa, Boitumelo. Have you done sine, cos, and area rule yet? Let's have a look in the chat. Okay, I see some of you have done it. Asamahle, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Please have a look at the question and write down the rules for sine, cos, and area. Welcome, Vuyo. So I'm going to start with this now. And I thought initially of, just copying a lot of using diagrams that are already pre-done and, writing out and showing you the formulas, but I thought it would be more meaningful for me to write them out. So I'm going to write them all out and we're going to be drawing the diagrams from scratch and actually doing the whole thing, right? So let's do this. Okay, why is this going halfway now? Let's do that. So I'm going to push this here and we're going to look at the triangle. Let's draw the triangle. I'm going to attempt to draw it with the line, but if it comes out funny, I'm just going to draw it freehand. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think that's good enough. Okay. Okay, so we've got a triangle here, and it's got sides A, B, and C, right? So let's label them. A, B, and C. Opposite A, we get a small a. It's not in capitals. Opposite B, we get a small b. And opposite C, we get a small c. Okay. And we use the sine rule. So the sine rule is a rule used to find sides and angles in a triangle when we mustn't have a 90-degree triangle. So this is used to find sides without a 90-degree triangle. Okay. So remember with the 90-degree triangle, what did we use for that? We used to use sokatua. How many of you remember sokatua? Can just show me a thumbs up, even those on the live stream. How many of you remember sokatua? Okay, now here we cannot use sokatua because it's not 90 degrees. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Just one more time. How many of you have done the sine, cosine, and the area rule at school yet? How many of you done that already? Can just show me a thumbs up. Okay, or Atilwe has done it, Lumka has done it. Who else? Okay, I'm getting more. Okay. Marilyn has done it. Rabone has done it. Okay, so a lot of you have done it. Okay, so let's look at the first rule. Remember, these rules are for non-90-degree triangles, right? So I'm going to say here, sine, cos, area rule are for non-90-degree triangles, right? So these are for triangles that are not 90 degrees. So we use these rules to find the sides and angles of triangles which are not 90 degrees, right? So we use this to find sides and angles of non-90 degrees triangle. Okay, we can use it for 90-degree triangles as well. However, we cannot use SOHCAHTOA for these non-90-degree triangles, right? So that's why we have to use sine, cos, and area rule, right? So non-90-degree triangles. So these ones don't have 90 degree. They're not right angles, right? Okay. Okay, so let's look at the first one, the sine rule. The formula for that is A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. And these are angles. The top ones are sines. These are sides, right? Sines. And here, these are angles. Okay, so that's the sine rule. A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Okay. And then we get the cos rule. The cos rule, cosine rule. This one is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos angle A. And then lastly, we get the area rule. Which says the area of triangle ABC equals to half AB sine C. So it's half the two sides with an angle between it, right? So we get three rules here: the sine rule, cos rule, and the area rule. Okay, three rules: sine rule, cos rule, and area rule. How many of you have seen these rules before? Can you just show me a thumbs up? Okay, quite a few of you. Quite a few of you have done this. Great. Okay. So let's have a look at an example, right? I'm going to just erase this on the right, or maybe I should just redraw the triangle. Let's redraw the triangle, right? Have you all written it down? Can I move the triangle to the side? Just show me a thumbs up if you've written it down and I can move it along. It's important that you have them with you, right? Please write them down. I'll give you one more minute and then we can do another example, right? Let me do this for you. So what I'll do is I'll push it here like that. There we go. And then I'll just draw this here on the side here. So it's not in the way, right? Okay, let's do Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, we need to move this across now. So this question wants us to find x. So what we're going to do this one, we have two sides, two angles and one side. We need to find a missing side, right? We have two angles, one side, and we need to find a missing side. Now let's write the formula out for the sine rule. So remember this one, what did we say? We have two sides, two angles. I keep saying sides, two angles. And we have one side. And we look for the missing side. So usually under this circumstances, two angles, one side, look for the missing side. We usually use the sine rule, right? So I'm going to give you here, I'm going to write this out. Because we've got ABC, I can write down my sine rule in the form of ABC. I can say A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Now I'm going to put ticks. Do I have A? So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Do I have A? Nope, I don't have A. Do I have angle A? Yes, I do. So I have that. Do I have B? Nope, I don't. Do I have angle B? No, I don't. Do I have C? Yes, I do. Do I have angle C? Yes, I do. So which two ratios can we use? We can use this ratio here and this ratio here. Can you see that? So we can use these two ratios to find what we are looking for. Okay, everybody, I just want to know from you, is that okay? Do you understand how we use this process to find the missing side? Okay, thanks, Asamahle. Okay, lots of you. Thanks, Oratilwe. What about the rest of you? Please do shout if you have any questions. Thanks, Lisa. Okay. Okay, so let's plug in now. So we're going to plug in A, which is X. So I'm going to say X over sine 42 equals to C, which is 5, over sine C, which is 53, sine 53, right? And now we need to use algebra. So we need to be really good with your algebra. So X is going to be 5 over sine 53. And remember, when you take this over, it's going to become times by sine 42. I get 4.19 to 2 decimal places, right? Please, can you help me check if this is correct? 4.19. It's correct. Thank you. Okay, great. So this is finding that missing. What is it missing? Side. Remember, we've got two angles and one side. So it's two angles and one side opposite one of the angles that we do have. So we can use the sine rule for this, right? Two angles, one side, looking for missing side. Okay. Okay. Right. I'm going to move on to another scenario with the sine rule. Remember, this was sine rule. Let's try this one. So I'm going to try one where we're looking for a missing angle. So we've got here whoops. Okay, so we've got a triangle. And I'm going to use a different alphabet just so that it's a bit interesting when you write down your rule, right? So let's use P, S, and T. Right, so we've got here an unknown, which is X degrees. Opposite, we've got 5.4 centimeters. And then here we've got 6.7. And we've got 95 degrees. There we go, right? Okay. So we want to find X. So we've got two angles. What one angle we're still looking for? So we've got actually two sides with one angle, right? So we've got two sides, one angle, and then we're looking for a missing angle. The previous one, what was it? We had two angles, one side. We were finding missing side. Here we've got two sides, one angle, finding missing angle, right? So let us look at that, right? So two sides, one angle, find missing angle. So it's going to be P over sine P equals to T over sine T. And then we have S. Remember, we put ticks now. So we're going to say here, we've got, this is S, this is T, it's P. We've got P, but we don't have sine P. We don't have T and we don't have sine T. We've got S and sine S. So we're going to use again these two ratios here. So let's plug in. We've got P, which is 5.4 over sine X. It's angle X, right? Because P is angle X there, see? And then we've got S, which is 6.7 over sine 95. And we're going to look for the sine X, right? Algebra, very important. You need good algebra here. 6.7 divided by sine 95 will give me 6.725 ... I don't want to round it off. And remember, you're going to take this over and say times, right? So it's going to be times sine X equals to 5.4. Then we're going to say 5.4 divided by 6.725, which is 0.8029 ... equals to sine X. And remember, because we're looking for an angle, we're going to say shift of sine, which gives me 53.42. So X equals to 53.42. And there we go. I hope this is okay. Please do type a word in the chat, or you can just say thumbs up or thumbs down. If it is easy, thumbs up. If it's difficult, thumbs down, right? Please do let me know. I'd really like to see feedback from you. Okay, thanks, Oratilwe. What about the rest of you? Somebody else said, Samashle, how's this going? Boitumelo, Lisa, Marilyn, Vuyo. 0.8 was, it was 5.4 divided by 6.725. 5.4 divided by 6.725, which gives me 0.8029 ... Okay. It's probably because you're rounding off. Remember, I'm not rounding off the whole way. I'm using the answer button. So on your calculator, you've got this button here, the A and see this one, ans A, this one, I use that, right? I don't round off. I just keep pressing that button, right? So it helps you to retain all your answers, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's 53.4. Remember, they'll just probably tell you 1 or 2 decimal places and you'll get it, right? Okay. So I'm going to give you one to try, and then we'll go on to the cos rule. So I'm quickly going to give you one to try. Actually, I should maybe do it below here. Otherwise, we're going to skip a lot of things here. Let's do this. Let's do this, right? So I'm going to give you one to try. Okay. And let's label it D, E, F, right? And I'm going to tell you this is 10, this is X, and then this is 15, and this is 60. And I want you to find X. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this, and you can give me an answer and let me know what X is, right? Let's see who will give an answer first. Okay, I've got some answers here ready. Excellent. Sure. You all are really quick. Okay, so we got 10 over sine x equals to 15 over sine 60. So it's going to be 15 over sine 60, 10 square root 3, sine x equals to 10, then 10 over 10 square root 3 equals sine x, then shift sign of 10 over 10 square root 3, 35.26. Thank you. That's really great. Okay. Did everybody get that? Are there any questions? Okay, thank you. Lots of you got it. Okay, any questions? So we're going to say 10 over sine x equals 15 over sine 60. Remember, this is going to be d over sine d equals e over sine e. So that's why we get that, right? So d over sine d, e over sine e. And here's d. D is 10 over sine d, which is what we're looking for. E is 15 over sine e. That's why we choose that ratio. And then we go and solve. So after this, you're going to have to practice your algebra, right? Because that is an algebra related challenge. If you do have this and you're still not getting the answer, you need to urgently revise your algebra. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to solve this equation, right? So if you're at this point, that's great. But to get to the final answer, we need very good algebra skills, right? Is that okay, everybody? Are you all getting up to this point here? Please show me a thumbs up. Also, those online on the live feed. Okay, great, great. Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, excellent. Lots and lots of thumbs up. Okay, cool. So I'm now going to look at the cos rule. I actually have a question here somewhere. I hope I can find it. Here it is. But it must be this one here. This one here. And then, yeah. Okay, so this is this one here, cos rule. I think I'm going to use this one here because it is easily accessible here. Let's enlarge it, right? Okay. Okay. So here's this triangle here, right? So I want us to focus on this triangle here. We've got 11.7, 28.3, and we've got 67. So we've got two sides with an angle, and they want us to find AC. The question wants us to find the side AC here. Okay, so what are we going to do? How do we find AC? This is the one where we use the cos rule. So we've got two sides and we've got an angle and we want to find the missing side. So let's write that down. We've got two sides and one angle, and we want to find the missing side. Okay. And find the missing side, and it must be opposite that angle, right? So let's see, we've got ABC here. So we want to find the missing side. What is the missing side? Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Is it small a? Is it small b? Is it small c? What is it? Can you please let me know? Is the missing side small a, small b, or small c? Yes, it's small b. Okay, so it's small b, right? Then this is A and this is C. So because we're looking for B, we're going to put that on the front of our equation. Remember what was the original equation? A squared equals B squared plus C squared my A 2A AB 2BC cos A, right? So now we need to rearrange our formula. Okay. So we need to rearrange our formula by putting B in the front, right? Okay, so we're going to make our new formula now. B squared equals to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B. And what you will see here, this matches always with that. So if you're looking for an A in the front, then you'll have cos A. If you're looking for a B, you'll have cos B. If you're looking for C, you'll have cos C. If you're looking for cos J, if you're looking for J, then you'll have cos J at the end, etc. Right? So let's plug everything in. We're looking for B. So we're going to say B squared. I'm just going to put a line like this here so we can see that we're writing this equation here. So B squared equals A squared, which is 28.3 squared, plus C squared, which is 11.7, minus 2, 28.3, 11.7, and cos of, what angle is that? 67. Okay, let's plug that into our calculator. 28.3 squared plus 11.7 squared minus 2 times 28.3 times 11.7 times cos 67. Please let me know what you get. Remember, we need to square root our answer because we've got b squared, right? And you square root and let me know what you get. So b equals 26.06 meters. Well done. Okay. Is this okay, everybody? You can just type a word in the chat. How is this so far? The cos rule. How is this so far? You can even type a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you're understanding it, or if it's difficult, then at least I know, because we do have a revision lesson right at the end, which we can do more of this. Prince, Valerie. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to look also at the area rule for this one. So the question can say, so this one was find B, right? So this first part was find B. I'm going to erase this and I'm going to say find the area of this triangle, right? So they want us to find the area of this triangle, and here we're going to use the area rule, right? And the area rule, remember, was half AB sine C, or it's half side with an angle between it, right? So in this case, we've got A and C, so the area will be half AC sine B. Can you see that? Because we've got A, we've got C, and we've got the angle B. So the formula changes. We want two sides with an angle between it. Okay, so we're going to plug it in half 11.7 and 28.3 and sine of the angle, which is 67. Okay, let's calculate that and we can both check, or we can all check, should not both, all. I got this 152.39. Please let me know if you've got that. And remember, this must be meters squared. Yes, okay. Great. Thank you, Aratilwe, for confirming that. And Lumka, Vuyo as well. Lisa, no, we don't square root this answer. We just leave it like that. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, excellent. Well done, everybody. Okay. So this is area rule. And now I'm going to ask you if you have any questions, and then I'm going to give you one last one to end off. Any questions so far? Nope. Okay, let's try one more. Let's try this one, right? Calculate the length of AB to three significant figures. Try this one, right? AB to three significant figures. You can just type your answer in the chat. Who else has an answer for AB? Okay, so let's look. Marilyn, are you able to unmute? Mhm. Or Lumka, are you able to unmute? Nope. Okay, let's look. So you could C, A, and B, right? And we want C. Who else is giving me answers here? Asamahle. Asamahle, do you maybe want to talk us through this? Where's Asamahle? Okay, so we're looking for C. So we're going to say C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cos C. So C squared will equal to 10 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 10 times 7 cos of 73. Let's plug that in. Yes. So it's C squared equals to 108.0679. Da, 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 da. So C will be square root of that, which is 10.4. They say three significant figures, right? So it's 10.4. Okay. And that is the answer. We use the cos rule, right? And if I had to ask you to find the area, I can say area is half of 7 times 10 sine of 73 degrees. Which is 33.47 centimeters squared. Yes, there we go. Okay, and remember the unit for this one is centimeters. Okay, so there we go. Any questions from anybody? Any questions? You're very quiet today. So I'm assuming that everything's okay and that you are understanding. Thanks, Lisa. I'm glad that it's good. How are the rest of you feeling about this section? You can just type a word in the chat. Also, you can put a thumbs up or thumbs down and let me know. Okay, thanks, Asamatle. Thanks, Lumka, Oratilwe, Valerie. Okay, I'm glad you're understanding. This section is exceptionally important. So you need to do really well at this. Thank you, Valerie. Prince as well. Thank you all. Okay, I'm going to stop there and you're going to get lots of this for homework. And yeah, I want to wish you a wonderful long weekend. And I'm going to hand you over now to Nikela, who's going to tell you where we're at and give you the homework as well.
Okay, hey guys. Well done to everyone participating. And yeah, hope you guys are gonna have a good long weekend. Before I start sharing, I just want to ask if anyone is watching our live streams, please just put a thumbs up so we know. And yeah, so we know that you're out there and we can give you some recognition. Okay. So, oops, going to share. Okay, so we are done with our lesson 4. Next lesson is next week. That's going to be lesson 5. And yeah, as Deepesh said, you guys have a lot of homework. You're going to look for trig in 2D and 3D. And then once you pick that topic, you will see that there are 3 basically sections under there. And yeah, you're going to have to practice basically everything in that section. So sine rule, cos rule, and the area rule. Yeah, and I'm just going to keep that up for all of you to see. And just also a quick reminder that you can share this personal link with your friends to give them one free Zoom class. So I'm just going to keep the homework up. And yeah, everyone enjoy your Heritage Day. Hope you guys get some rest.